Hello, everybody. This is the AlienPhotog, and this is part 2 of the documentary. Okay, I've decided that it's ridiculously pompous of me to act like I need to make an entire documentary every time I've got 10 minutes of something to say on this. Because the truth is, I've got a lot of stuff to say and a lot of people asking questions, and I want to get this information out there as quick as possible, and putting videos together for all of them is totally overwhelming. So what I'm showing you is just video that I've shot of what I believe to be UFOs. There's plenty of people that think they're airplanes, all sort of other explanations. Check it out, whatever you think you think. But what I'm going to do in this one is just talk a little bit about some of the questions people had. But before I start, I just want to ask anybody who's at all interested in these things, would you please subscribe, because I get a lot of the same questions over and over, and I want to get answers to people. But what people want to know, I think, why are they here? It's a sort of a backwards question. Because, guys, they've been here for a long, 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 long time. The difference is, in today's society, it's covered up. And I believe the reason it's covered up, and I can't say I blame them if I was in their shoes, but the guys who run things here on Earth know damn well that if we all figure out that there's beings higher power than humans with certainty, sure, they promote religion and Christianity because it's all so vague. And it's all, hey, he'll come back someday. They don't like people to know that these beings are out there currently. I point to two pieces of evidence that cannot be explained away reasonably. Now, anybody can make shit up, but I point to the pyramids and to Stonehenge. It's sad to me that people look at that and say, well, what proof is that? The big pyramid. This thing is 400 and some odd feet high. I don't know. Google the pyramids of Egypt right now while you're listening to this in another window, and look at pictures of these things. See if you can find one compared to the skyline. I put it up, but I don't want to infringe copyrights. The going theory is that they used ramps to get these huge busload sized freaking rocks up this a skyscraper, essentially. Can you imagine the miles of ramps that would take by the time you go all the way around the base? And how do you get the top piece on? Like everybody lift on three from their collective ramp around the four sides of the top of a pyramid? There is no way. There's no way. What happened here, clearly, and this is proof that they exist and have been here for a long time, is some sort of technology that we do not yet understand made them. That's the only real explanation for them. Okay, they also, for more evidence, they have chutes inside them that are astronomically aligned, all within the accuracy of a quarter of an inch. It's exactly precise and astronomically aligned, and it is also in the exact center of the Earth's landmass. Okay, this is technology from other places. Hey, guess what, everybody? I just disclosed. I just proved it to you. Everybody's talking about disclosure. It freaking cracks me up. Why do we need somebody to tell us common sense shit is real? I love that. They're gonna disclose. Screw them. They've been lying to us forever, man. All I know is if they tell us something disclosure-wise, don't believe it, because it'll be another lie. I mean, I've got to say that their record up to date has been lying every freaking single time about it and pleading ignorance, so I'm just going to believe them and act like they don't know anything. Okay, we can figure this out with common sense. And now let's look at Stonehenge too. Pull up pictures of that. Look at that puppy. And what's interesting is what Stonehenge is, I believe. So this is what we're going to go into a little bit, and we're going to go into ancient civilizations. And this is really interesting because in our view as humans, this is a long period of time. In reality, it's not. We have a hard time seeing the big picture as humans. And it's very common for other alien species, as we call them, they look thousands, hundreds of thousands, millions of years into the future. They have the wisdom to do that because they realize something we don't. They've learned something we don't, is that nothing happens slowly. Absolutely nothing actually happens slowly. We've all been led to believe that it does, so we don't see the big picture. But the truth is, nothing happens overnight. But what Stonehenge is essentially a new calendar for a 365-day year. And so this is where I want to start with ancient history. At one point, this Earth had 360 days in the year, and now it's 365.2425. People just glaze over that. That's a big damn deal. What happened? I would venture to say there was a major event there. But it seemed to happen about 5,000 years ago, which is the exact time that the Mayans, who of course predict 2012, said that the period of time started. Okay? And that is also the time that Stonehenge popped up. And what Stonehenge appears to be is a calendar 365-day year that they gave us. Why? Because there's little slits cut in it, as I'm sure everybody knows, that line up perfectly to the sun on the equinoxes. That's a technology beyond this earth. And Stonehenge, they want to claim that, the natives drug stones from 25 miles away. It's the most unreasonable thing I've ever heard. Hey, guess what? We just disclosed again. More obvious shit that proves they exist. So an important thing for us to try to pin down is what happened. Why did we go from 360 days to 365 days? What made that happen? If nothing else, it had to be a big deal. It slowed our entire planet's orbit. Well, we can go back to the Egyptian culture, and they're the only ones that speak of it that in great detail. And what they claim is that their god named Thoth, which is another interesting thing about him. Look him up. It's Thoth is the best way to Google it. In reality, it's spelled with a Greek symbol in the middle instead of an O that kind of looks like an O with a slash through it. That represents letter TH. So his name is really TH, and it's the root word of thought, which is very interesting because thought is literally the only thing that makes us alive, as many philosophers have come to after many years of contemplating. So Thoth apparently decided to gamble with the moon for 1/72nd of its light. Now the reason why Thoth did this, and it's interesting, they called it a gamble. They said it was like a game of chance, like chess or something, that Thoth knew he would win, and he did. But the reason he did it is it said the gods, he said they couldn't breed here on Earth with the 360 days, and they needed to. Okay, so which begs some questions next time you go look around on the streets. And people who don't think that alien DNA is intertwined with ours, it's crazy. Alien abductees have been saying, like myself, for years, junk DNA is bullshit. Excuse my language, by the way. If you're offended by cussing, you're going to have to get over it because I do it sometimes. But it's bullshit. Junk DNA. DNA composes what you are, every single little tiny bit of what you are. You are literally your parents, and their parents, and their parents, and their parents. That's you. Literally, look at your skin. It's them. It is a piece of them that composes you, and that's all that composes you. But Thoth gambled with the moon so they could interject their DNA on Earth. Very interesting, that's 1/72nd. Okay, the number 72 is incredibly important. So anyway, apparently this gamble with the moon, this game he played, somehow gave the Earth an extra day for every 72 days it had before, and that's 5 extra days a year, plus a little. That's what the Egyptians said. But that number 72, first off, it's 1/5 of 360. But if we double it, we get to another interesting number, 144. There's 1,440 minutes in a day. The Bible also speaks of, and I'm not a huge Bible fan, I believe there's a lot more astronomy in there that people want to believe, but it speaks of 144,000 people on the Mount when it speaks of the end times, or something like that. That's a general idea. Don't correct me. I don't care if I'm wrong on that particular subject. I'm in the ballpark, and I think you guys are wrong. So, and it's also the number of days in a Bakhtun, which the Mayan calendar used to count long periods of time, 144,000 days. Okay, 72 times 2, 144. Okay, get this. Let's do it one more time, and it takes us up to a magical number 216, which is inscribed in a lot of pyramids around the world. Okay? Now, the Christians are going to freak out here because this is what the number 666 represents. 6 times 6 times 6 equals 216. It's in code, so not everybody figures it out. Okay, but 72, 144, 216. Now, the interesting thing about this shift in time we had to where the gods could apparently breed here is apparently they had to sync our planet up with Venus. Okay, get this. Okay, for every picture the solar system, right? Very simple. Sun in the middle. Venus is the second planet going around. Earth is the third. Obviously, different distances from the sun. Okay. Now, for every 8 trips Earth takes around the sun, Venus has exactly 13. Exactly. If you look at those planets as they're rotating, individually, at the closest point they are together, if you take that point and trace it over that period of 8 Earth years, you get a perfect pentagon or 5-pointed star. I mean, what are the odds? And of course, that pentagon is comprised of 5 72-degree angles. The universe is by design. There is no doubt about it.